Professor Rick Horrow, Beyond the Scoreboard, the serious show that doesn't take itself too seriously, but $1 billion, trillion-dollar sports business heading into the holidays all across the globe. The theme of globalization takes precedence over anything else. We've got 41 bowl games in the U.S. We've got the fourth quarter of NFL football, always exciting. We've got the NHL and NBA heading toward the holiday season. But a lot of it is facilities. The defending champion Cleveland Cavaliers pushing forward with $140 million worth of facility renovations. According to the Cleveland Plain Dealer, 22-year-old arena will be competitive because they're adding new boxes, complete by 2020. Shift to Minnesota, they've got stadium issues as well. The MLS expansion club Minnesota United set on building its own soccer-specific stadium in time for the inaugural season in 2018. 24,000-seat capacity, $150 million deal. Press conference attended by Don Garber, groundbreaking ceremony as well. 25 suite. Shift even farther west to Oakland. The Raiders pass another significant hurdle on the path to stay in the Bay Area after the officials in Oakland and Alameda County gave the go-ahead to negotiate with the Pro Football Hall of Famer Ronnie Lott and his group. Mark Davis is the owner of the Raiders, and he needs to figure out how to get his deal done. But probably Oakland's last shot. Let me tell you, $1.3 billion development. These deals usually get done at the head of the gun at the last minute. And with Vegas looking like they've got an offer on the table, there may be a specific issue and a deadline there, as well as Oakland looking to build a new stadium for the A's. Busy time in Alameda County, busy time in Oakland. Patrick Steenberg, the guy who created the concept of global football. We'll talk about international stuff when we come back. Alexandra Rovinska from the Ukraine, studying in Dubai, talking about Middle Eastern sports, a frequent contributor on the show as well. And Scott Hamilton, the gold medal winning, figure skating, charitable, really significant, wonderful interview, and you all need to hear that. Coming up next, Beyond the Scoreboard, Rick Horrow. Speak to you in a couple of minutes.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number.
Call 877-499-MY-TV.
The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So cancel the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money.
Call 877-499-MY-TV.
Right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $24.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $24.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card.
Call 877-499-MY-TV. That's 877-499-MY-TV.
Cancel the cable, cut costs, and get more.
Call now, 877-499-MY-TV. That's 877-499-MY-TV.
Rebuild or replace transmission, $3,200. Anti-lock brake system, $1,000. Rebuild or replace engine, $2,400. Truth is, once your manufacturer's warranty runs out, it's all on you. Every last cent. Get protection for covered repairs with a vehicle service contract from Toco Warranty. Unlike other companies, with Toco, there's no down payment, and the monthly payments are really affordable. Not sure how long you're keeping your car? At Toco, you can pay as you go. Keep your hard-earned cash and call Toco Warranty right now at 800-222-2313 to save big money on covered auto repairs. Prices vary by vehicle, but for about the cost of a tank of gas per month, a Toco plan has your back on expensive covered car repairs. Monthly payments are very affordable. Get your free quote now. Call Toco at 800-222-2313. That's 800-222-2313. 800-222-2313. Cancellation fee may apply. Subject to eligibility. Not available in Missouri and Washington. Waiting period and deductible apply. Coverage provided and administered by Warrantech Corporation or its affiliates. Not affiliated with any manufacturer or dealership. Visit TocoWarranty.com for complete terms and conditions.
Sometimes what you want most from your car is nothing. No headaches, no surprises, no anxiety when it's late at night and you're on some distant freeway in a thunderstorm. Owning a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz can be that anxiety-free experience on every level. You know you're in one of the safest and most thoughtfully engineered vehicles on the road. And with an unlimited mileage warranty, you can drive as far as you want for up to 3 years, with roadside assistance included. Your sense of confidence and adventure are as unlimited as the warranty itself. Now you can drive the car of your dreams and realize that nothing is everything. And during the certified pre-owned sales event, now through August 31st, you can receive 2 years of complimentary prepaid maintenance and 0.99% APR financing on select models, available through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services. You've waited long enough.
See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for complete details and limitations on certified pre-owned warranties. APR offer available only to qualified customers. Call 1-800-FOR-Mercedes for details about costs and terms.
Alexandra Ravinska is an amazing individual. She's been an international student from the Ukraine, studying at the NYU Abu Dhabi campus, but also getting some perspective on international sports. She'll be a frequent contributor for us. She's giving us some ideas of Dubai, United Arab Emirates, Abu Dhabi, and why that's so unique. Here she is now.
We've said before that the real key to any business, especially the trillion-dollar sports business, is to reinvigorate itself and sustain itself, meaning young people need to continue to come into the business and do the right thing. And B, the business has to stay global. And it is bigger and more global now that you can fly from, let's hypothetically say, Orlando to Dubai in 15 hours, where it used to be, 5.5 days on a Viking ship. The difference is prolific. And it is so prolific that sports is no longer an American institution. It is a global institution. And we have some interesting perspective we're going to count on from time to time on the show and otherwise. Alexandra Ravinska, who is a second-year economics student at NYU's Abu Dhabi School. Make no mistake, she is an international scholar, borderline genius, and has some international perspective that we'll all want to share. How's that for an intro?
Sounds great.
Having just gotten back from UAE, United Arab Emirates, and being in Abu Dhabi and being in Dubai, there is an interesting perspective. There is a New York University campus. It's the UAE campus, but it is an international flavor. We know that there are many nationalities reflected there, and so, give us your trek, your quick history. A Ukrainian, academic superstar ends up studying in the UAE on the way to New York, Shanghai, and greater places. So let the audience know what's going on.
So I moved to Abu Dhabi 2 years ago. As you already mentioned, this is my second year here. Before this, I lived in Ukraine, but I studied at an international school there. So I was considering going for university education in the U.S. or in the U.K. or in Canada or in Singapore or in different international locations. And ultimately, I chose to come to Abu Dhabi because I wanted some unique experience. I wanted to live in a place where I haven't been before and to experience things which I haven't experienced before. And NYU Abu Dhabi is an amazing institution, and there's a lot of diversity here. We have students from 110 different nationalities, and the opportunities here are just amazing and cannot be compared to any other place. So I really love it here, and next month I'm going to Shanghai to study there for a month, and then I'm going to NYU London, and then I'll be coming back to Abu Dhabi to continue my education here.
So NYU's program, we know about the Tisch program, we know about the Stern program. Is this part of that? Explain to the listeners what the similarities and differences are. Is it part of the same organization?
So the main NYU campus is, of course, in New York. And then there are different schools. We have the Stern School, Tisch, School of Arts, and NYU Abu Dhabi is just another school under NYU. And it is located in Abu Dhabi in the UAE, and it is one of the three main campuses of NYU. So the first one is in New York, second one in Abu Dhabi, and the third one is in Shanghai. And then additionally, there are a number of other campuses, such as in London and in Washington and in other locations. Not start studying there and graduate from there. So it's just for temporary periods of time.
When you swear allegiance to NYU, do they make you become a Yankee fan or a Giants fan, even if you don't know American baseball or football?
No, actually not. Unless you go to NYU New York for study away, maybe then they do, but not at NYU Abu Dhabi.
Well, God bless you, because what we're going to talk about a little bit, you got some perspective about Alexandra's worldliness. She'll be with us from time to time, giving us some international perspective that we really have never had before. So she's leaving the UAE temporarily, be back, but there are some issues, I think, and you talked to me about this before, a number of issues of how the UAE, Middle East, from a sports perspective, maybe an economic perspective as well, are unique, how it stands out, and you've come up with 5 ideas that we can discuss. So let's get started. Tell us what you think the first kind of major difference or major characterization of the Middle East and UAE has been for you in your year and a half.
So first of all, it's definitely the diversity here. As I mentioned before, we have students from 110 different nationalities at my university, but this diversity is also present in the UAE as a whole. 85% of the population of the UAE is actually expats. So people from other countries actually dominate the country, which is very interesting and very unique to the UAE. And just on a daily basis, you always get to interact with people from different cultures, from different backgrounds, who maybe have been living here for 10 years, but maybe they just came here last month and are maybe staying just like for half a year. So you always have this dynamic here. And you always have a lot of opportunities to learn about different cultures, about different sports also, because everyone brings a part of their culture to the UAE, and it makes it very diverse and a very unique environment.
Do you detect that people are willing to share in each other's experiences, or do they revel in the similarities, or do they focus on the differences? Is it homogeneous or not?
I would say that, of course, differences exist, but I think that the UAE embraces these differences because it is so fundamental to this country because, as I mentioned, there's so many expats, and the UAE would not be the same country without this international atmosphere. And I think definitely there's an exchange of ideas, exchange of interests, and at the same time, people also who come from the same countries, from the same cultures, they get together here and to do things that they like. For example, I know that there's a Ukrainian community here in Abu Dhabi and also in Dubai, and they gather on a weekly basis, well, depending on the season, but on a regular basis they gather to play soccer, for example. So it's something that brings them together, and at the same time they're able then to compete at their level with other people or to also invite other people to join them. So this creates a very fun and interesting atmosphere.
You write, and by the way, this will be shared on our site as a writing that Alexandra will do, and then she'll contribute on a regular basis as well. So you'll get to see it, not just hear it. The whole idea of the varied cultures as it relates to different sports. American football, I was just at the Pop Warner event. We talked about it, and the UAE Falcons came over and played. Most people don't know American football in the Middle East, but they did. Basketball, cricket, volleyball, all the sports. Do you sense, I guess you do, it's a second major point, that there is some acceptance even though the different cultures import their sports of choice, no?
Yes, definitely. So firstly, when people think of UAE and if they think of Dubai, they might think of it as a good place for resorts, a good place to go for vacation, go to the beaches. And, of course, UAE is a very warm country and has its own culture as well. Yet that doesn't mean that they do not embrace, for example, sports which are performed in cold countries like ice skating or ice hockey or skiing. There's Ski Dubai in one of the malls here in the UAE, and people are able just to go on a weekend and just go skiing there. And so it's a very interesting merge of different things. You have different influences from different countries, from different cultures, and at the same time you have also the UAE interest. For example, soccer is very popular here, I'd say. And, soccer is popular throughout the world, but also there are some more particular sports which are which are very popular here in the UAE.
It's a very special place, and it is a very special set of lessons. And after you get settled in London, you're going to come back on the show, aren't you?
Yeah, I really hope so. Looking forward to it.
Of course she is. Ladies and gentlemen, Alexandra Rovinska, Rick Horrow, Beyond the Scoreboard. Be back in a couple of minutes.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for prescription drugs? Well, we have great news. Now you can finally get prescription drugs at huge discounts from Canada Drug Center. That's right, the most popular drugs for cholesterol, high blood pressure, depression, diabetes, arthritis, and many more are now up to 75% off. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices when you can get brand name drugs at the lowest price? Call today and get up to 75% off all the popular brand name prescription drugs. Never pay high prices again. Get the most popular drugs at huge savings from our Canadian and international pharmacies and fulfillment centers. No insurance? No problem. Prices are so low you do not need benefits or insurance to get all your prescriptions fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting to take your call now. Order today and get free shipping. Just call 800-950-1180. Up to 75% off all the popular brand name prescription drugs and free shipping. Call 800-950-1180. That's 800-950-1180.
This is Carrie Cooper for Guitar Centre's Focus on Rock. Shop for the greatest music gear on earth at guitarcenter.com. When you think of Dee Snider's Twisted Sister, what comes to mind? Rebellion, tongue-in-cheek humour, raucous hair metal guitars, blue eyeshadow in the rocking 80s perhaps? Well, recently Dee reworked one of his songs as a beautifully stark and touching piano ballad, turning his best-loved record into a powerful tool for a very important cause. Join me over at focusonrock.com for the full story about the helping hand of the new We're Not Gonna Take It.
This Black Friday weekend, Guitar Center is your best gift ever center. With doorbuster deals like a Taylor Swift signature acoustic pack with a Taylor guitar, bag, and songbook for just $2.99. A Gemini 15-inch loudspeaker pack with stand and microphone for $149. Or a Yamaha portable keyboard, just $69. Save up to 40% on gear in every department. And go to GuitarCenter.com to download your money-saving coupon now. Doors open Friday at 6 a.m. Black Friday weekend at Guitar Center, in-store and online.
Tired of calls, levies, and liens from the IRS or hiring others who don't get the job done? Call Wall & Associates and you'll never talk to the IRS again. The IRS has a program to eliminate tax debt, and Wall & Associates professionals are trained to maximize its benefits for you. You always speak with a live person with real support and real knowledge. We've helped thousands of taxpayers like you settle their tax debt with the IRS for a fraction of what they owe. We solve tax problems. Call Wall & Associates now, 800-480-5708. We have the professionals who know how to solve tax problems. If you owe money to the IRS, your tax problems are not going away by themselves, and the passage of time will only make matters worse. Act now, before it's too late. Call Wall & Associates right now to speak to a professional tax relief agent. Call 800-480-5708. That's 800-480-5708. Again, 800-480-5708.
Patrick Steenberg has a lot of interesting issues regarding the business of international football. Everybody talks about the interest in England and the games in Mexico and getting into Germany, but what the backbone of youth football is going to places like Dubai and the Middle East and Sri Lanka and spreading the word. The Finn national champions played a tremendous Pop Warner tournament, winning the international division. Those kids were big, by the way.
Rick Horrow in the boardroom, Beyond the Scoreboard. All of the issues in sports coalesce around dollar signs, but they also coalesce around other things too, which is globalization and youth sports. Without both of those, we can't have any future as far as any sport goes, whether it's American football or the like. And Patrick Steenberg is probably the worldwide expert on global football in, let's say, faraway places. He's orchestrated football tours.
This is the 19th year that we're going to play against the Mexican All-Stars, so it's a fun thing to do every year before Christmas.
Well, you are a Christmas gift to football and to kids, to be honest about it, because, you've been involved in the business for over 40 years, communication, special events, international travel, and marketing. You told me the story at the Pop Warner Super Bowl about how you evolved into this. It's one of the world's biggest travel agents, you might say, because the success of your world depends on unique travel contacts, but also a vision that American football can go global. Talk about it a bit.
Yeah, I can remember vividly sitting in my own little office in Granbury, Texas, when I was 44 years old, and my children were growing up, and things were going pretty good. But I had this yearning to get back into football. I'd gotten hurt my senior year at Notre Dame, so the dream of playing in the league was gone, and I got into other things, which had been pretty successful at. But I just really wanted to get back into football, and I wasn't going to start coaching at that point. So I created this idea called global football, with the whole idea of taking student athletes of all different ages at the amateur level, different countries, and exposing them to other cultures, giving them a chance to experience and learn through travel, and then to play the game that I think is the greatest sport that's ever been created, which around the world is known as American football. We just know it is football. So it's been a great adventure, a great ride, and I get to work with some really wonderful people through this experience.
Well, your relationships are really good, too. Obviously, the American Football Coaches Association, the NFL, has to be involved with what you do. Mexico, Europe, others, but also Pop Warner, USA Football, and all of the other organizations as well. Give me your candid assessment of how youth football is being marketed and promoted domestically and internationally. There's obviously room for improvement, but how so?
Yeah, and as you mentioned that, Rich, in any business you're in, it's all about the relationships. It's all about the people you have, and kind of that's how I've developed my business, is through the people I know globally that are involved in the sport. And I've had the benefit of working with just about every football group that exists in the world at different levels. And I see the development continuing at the youth level, at the kind of the high school or the U19 level, but not as organized or structured as I would like. If I were the czar, but there are things happening. Really in every country in the world now, it seems they're playing football at the adult level, and then the clubs or teams that have good organizations, have good funding, then they do a U19, kind of a high school age level of football, and then it drops down into the 16 and under, the 14 and under, the 12 and under, kind of at the Pop Warner level in smaller groups of countries going on. But it is expanding, and that's kind of what I like to do. When I talk to people and they say, "Oh, great, you're developing football around the world," and I say, "No, that's not my job. That's the NFL's job. That's what I think." And they're doing some things, but I think there's a lot more that could be done. They're kind of driving it through the different federations around the world, letting them handle it. I think there could be more of an effort there, but bit by bit, it's working.
Well, let's talk about how it's working. Obviously, Mark Waller and NFL International guys are proud of the London series, the Mexican game, the Canadian series in Toronto. Everybody talks about that as the highest visible, but yet many ways the backbone of international development are the expats in Germany, the folks who are playing in a solid, fundamental way. You talked about 351 teams in 26 countries and 6 continents. And so what's your biggest challenge?
Yeah, my biggest challenge, I guess, is getting the funding to allow these teams to travel. I mean, who wouldn't want to do it? I provide this opportunity to the youth teams, the high school teams, all around, every day I'm talking to some coach somewhere, some league, and they all want to do it. It's just who has the funding to actually do it. But they're great emissaries of the game. They travel, they present the game. We always do clinics for coaches, clinics for kids. In fact, this afternoon here in Mexicali, Mexico, we're going to have about 300 young kids come out after our practice with our Division III All-Star team. They're going to come out, and we're going to do a 1-hour clinic and have these kids sign autographs and coach up a little football. And then tonight the coaches will come over and we'll sit around in the lobby of the hotel doing the same thing. So I'm kind of doing it grassroots, one by one. But yeah, there could be more, I guess, of a unified effort. But it's kind of up to each of the federations around the world, and some of them do it better than others. And of course, there's never enough money to go around, but we're getting it done bit by bit.
The bit by bit is the interesting piece of this as well. Obviously, the NFL had you involved with their international Super Bowl that was part of the Super Bowl festivities as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I remember very well in 1997, I had this idea to present kind of the development of the sport at the Super Bowl, and I walked in and a couple of guys who gave me an audience, one of them being Pete Abatansi, who is now the assistant to Roger Goodell. This was before there was an NFL international division. There was an organization called NFL Properties that was part of the league. And I just said, look, I want to do a game after the Super Bowl. I want to play real football. I'll organize it, present it, do it, invite the team. You just help me with a little bit of funding. And they said, okay, we'll watch you do it. Which they did for a few years. And then in 2001, the NFL basically bought the event from me, paid me to manage it, and it was a great success for 11 years. We did that where we brought in high school-age teams from around the world. I remember vividly playing in Houston where the USA team was coached by Katy High School state champion Mike Johnston. And then there was a team from Canada, Mexico, Panama, Japan, and Europe, and it was a really good success. We did that for 11 years, and it was a great opportunity. When I was just down in Orlando, where you and I met at the Pop Warner Super Bowl, one of the big coaches from Finland came up and he said, do you remember me? We met in 1999 when he played in that NFL Global Junior Championship. He was part of Team Europe. While he was there, he was seen by some Nebraska coaches who were there scouting the local high schools, and he got a full scholarship, got an education, played 4 years for the Cornhuskers, and then went on and played in NFL Europe. So that was just great to get that connection back again.
I saw those Finns play, and those 300-pound linemen, I guess they're destined for Nebraska, right?
That seems to be where a lot of them go. But
clearly.
It was great to see those young guys playing again.
Yeah, the other piece of this too, Patrick, is the nationalistic instinct, but the opportunity to spread sport and spread goodwill. The UAE team, the United Arab Emirates, really kind of a darling of the event. Just getting back from Dubai and Abu Dhabi myself, and to see how excited they were with 53 different nationalities on their team and viewing themselves as kind of the Pied Piper of international football. I guess what it takes is a grassroots effort that spreads kind of organically over the world, and all you do kind of is just facilitate it, huh?
Yeah, that's a really great example there at the UAE. And Patrick Campos, the guy who kind of heads up the league over there, a few years back, he just rang me up, which I get emails from all around the world, it seems, every week with an idea to do something, come somewhere. But
now, today's General Steel building tip. Buy a large lot with a friend or family member that can be split into 2 smaller lots. Some of the most appealing properties may be much larger than what you want or can afford. Yet the seller may not be willing to break up a large parcel. So if you can share the costs with someone else, preferably someone you don't mind having as a neighbor, you may be able to pick up a great building site for a reasonable price. And now, a word from General Steel.
This is an alert. If your business or church is building this year, you're about to pay more than you should. And this could mean thousands of dollars more for your office, retail space, church, or warehouse. A General Steel building can save you as much as half the cost and time of similar conventional construction. And we're offering rebates of up to $20,000 to help you build today. Call General Steel for free information that could save you thousands. Call 866-95-STEEL. 866-95-STEEL. That's 866-95-STEEL.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 877-663-7126 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 877-663-7126 to take your call now. Call 877-663-7126. That's 877-663-7126. Again, 877-663-7126.
Rebuild or replace transmission, $3,200. Anti-lock brake system, $1,000. Rebuild or replace engine, $2,400. Truth is, once your manufacturer's warranty runs out, it's all on you. Every last cent. Get protection for covered repairs with a vehicle service contract from Toco Warranty. Unlike other companies, with Toco, there's no down payment, and the monthly payments are really affordable. Not sure how long you're keeping your car? At Toco, you can pay as you go. Keep your hard-earned cash and call Toco Warranty right now at 800-222-2313 to save big money on covered auto repairs. Prices vary by vehicle, but for about the cost of a tank of gas per month, a Toco plan has your back on expensive covered car repairs. Monthly payments are very affordable. Get your free quote now. Call Toco at 800-222-2313. That's 800-222-2313. 800-222-2313. Cancellation fee may apply, subject to eligibility. Not available in Missouri and Washington. Waiting period and deductible apply. Coverage provided and administered by Warrantech Corporation or its affiliates. Not affiliated with any manufacturer or dealership. Visit TocoWarranty.com for complete terms and conditions.
Beyond the Scoreboard series show doesn't take itself too seriously. Scott Hamilton, best known for being an Olympic gold medalist in figure skating, but better known now for being a significant fundraiser for Skating Fights Cancer, Hockey Fights Cancer. He's got some perspective on how to increase youth development in hockey and skating. And Scott has become a really good friend of the Nashville Predators, good friend of the NHL, good friend of mine. Here's Scott Hamilton.
I went from being a lousy skater to being a skater that had some potential, to then realizing that potential.
Over from 78 to 84, maybe. Is that right? Yeah. How's that happen?
You know, it's a.
I know it's a tribute to your mom, yeah, but how's it happen?
It happens knowing that, you know, you look back on it, 30-something years later, and you see God in all of it. Yeah. You see, this miracle happened, and it may not have presented itself as a miracle, but without that event happening, that event couldn't have happened, which made that event happening, which then allowed for the opportunity to go forward. And so it's all these little mini things that all create this great possibility. And then when you go through the process, it's not hitting a certain patch of ice, or it's not skating at a certain order, or not, there's all these things that could, be labeled as luck that have nothing to do with luck at all. They just have everything to do with provincial timing. It's providential timing of, okay, if I would have skated first after the warm-up in Sarajevo, I I would be done, because I didn't land a single jump in my warm-up. I couldn't find myself because the adrenaline was pumping so hard that I was dizzy. I had no understanding of where I was in the air, and it was a mess. So I needed those two performances for me to go down and scream into a mirror every single word that could come into my mind to just process that adrenaline out. So when I took the ice, I was a little bit dizzy and tired from all that, just purging all this adrenaline. If I would have skated first after that warm-up, I would have been 8th in the short program, not even, the broken tie for first.
But a case of destiny or a higher authority or power are all critical, but that may be selling yourself a little too short. You're a tremendously dedicated athlete and a very good athlete, and your habits, but it's serious, right? I mean, it's a combination of being right place, right time, but it's also an unprecedented dedication to your craft to take advantage of that.
Well, you got to show up every day.
Yeah.
And a lot of, when I'm teaching a skater at the academy, a private lesson, and I look at them and they go, I just don't feel good today. I just don't. This is probably a big waste of time. I go, are you kidding? Yeah. This is the most important day to show up. Because you know how many kids that feel like you do today aren't coming? And that gives you that day extra of being on the ice, and that puts you a day ahead of them. So it's all these opportunities of, knowing that if you show up every single day and you're intentional and you give it every single thing you've got, you're going to continue to advance. And yeah, it's 2 steps up, 1 step back, 3 steps up, 2 steps back, 4 steps up, no steps back, and then it turns into this progression that allows you to be more in a position to endure very difficult situations successfully. And it's good in business, it's good in academics, it works in everything. If you show up every day, and that's it, just show up every day, you are now making something possible.
It's hard to believe, but it's 32 plus years?
Yeah, it's almost 33.
And so you've morphed into a cancer survivor, ambassador to hockey / skating, world-class entrepreneur, which you're in the middle of now, and you're going to be doing it, and kind of a hero of millions. I'll say that. How do you? Is it a life plan that caused you to reassess every 5 years where you'd be and see how successful you'd be? Was it a conscious effort to build off of 84? Here's where I want to be at a certain time. Is it a combination of a lot of different things? Is it certain values you ascribe to that cause you to be in a certain place? How do you get here?
How do you get here? How do you build a pyramid?
Yeah. Okay.
Like one brick at a time.
Yeah. Right.
So it turns into this thing where, when I turned pro, I won my 4 world championships, my 4 U.S. championships, and the gold medal, and went that 4 years undefeated as an amateur. So I'm living in a friend of mine's parents' basement, and I don't have 2 nickels rubbed together. Now what do? Well, I got to turn pro. And really the only right decision to make was to join Ice Capades. And when I met with the president of Ice Capades, a man I respect and I quote almost daily, he just looked at me and he goes, you know what? It's a good thing you won the Olympic gold medal because you're too short to be in the chorus line.
Oh, nice.
No, but it was like that. It's like, this is an all or nothing proposition.
Yeah.
And he goes, and not only that, he goes, I want you to understand that this is a leap of faith for us, because every Olympic athlete we've ever brought in gets injured, misses shows, ends up partying on a Saturday night, doesn't want to come in on Sunday morning. There's all this, and, this is the history. This is all we know. So guess what? We've lumped you in. That's who we think you are. And I go, no. I'll never miss a show. I'll never miss a press opportunity. I'll be the model employee. But my only thing is, I'm not going to sign for 33 weeks, which is the normal duration of the year, the calendar year for an ice show like Ice Capades. I'll sign for 20 because I want to keep myself up, and I want to pursue other opportunities, in those weeks I have off. Well, in those, I averaged 23 weeks, those 20-week years, because somebody would get injured, as you said.
Right.
Olympic, our stars get injured, and I'd go and I'd sub for them. Sometimes I'd show up on the day unannounced and say, surprise, here I am. So I became this model employee, and after 2 years, Ice Capades went through a sale. And the new owner didn't want to have anything to do with male stars. So I got let go. And, you know, I mean, when you get let go or you get fired or you get they downside, whatever the, you know, the verbiage is, guess what? That's opportunity.
And you're a gold medalist, for God's sake, so how could they possibly let you go, right?
Gold medalist, and there was no precedent, right? It was just, I'm making it up as I go along. And my heroes were not skaters. My heroes, I had role models, but my heroes were Bruce Springsteen. My heroes were Neil Diamond. My heroes were these guys that started with nothing and built these audiences. So I figured, how am I going to build an audience? How am I going to do that? Yeah. Well, there's two things that have to happen. One, I've got to make sure that I win over the entire audience. So I'd step on the ice at an ice show, and sure enough, all the women would be leaning forward in their seats with anticipation. Okay, I got them. I got them. They're done.
By the way, that, ladies and gentlemen, was an earlier Scott Hamilton with some hair, just so we understand. Okay?
No, and I'm not even saying that they're attractive. I'm just saying that they came because they wanted to see skating, and they're already a skating fan.
Clearly.
Okay, so there's a man usually sitting next to them, slouched in his seat, checking his watch with his arms across his chest, who has taken one for the team. This is date night, and my wife wanted to come to an ice skating show, and I can't wait for it to be over. All right, here's my mission, and I chose to accept it. I've got to win him over. If I can win over that guy that doesn't want to be there, that guy that'd rather be watching the football game, that guy that's mortified that he hopes nobody from his office sees him at an ice skating show in his life, right. If I can get him on his feet, and that's the thing, that's the goal, get him on his feet, then I can skate for as long as I want. And now I go through an airport all these years later after I'm no longer skating, and a gentleman will come up and he'll say, you know, I'm not a skating fan at all. I'm a football guy, you know, a baseball guy, you know. But my wife loves you. Can I introduce her? Can I introduce you to her? I go, of course. He goes, I'll go get her. Goes, gets his wife. He goes, honey, look who I found. And she'll look at me and she'll go, I have no idea. It's like fist pump central. It's like, okay, I was right. And, you know, it's like I did the backflips and I did all these, I created routines that were really meant to be broad in their interest, things that had never been seen before, clever, funny. I wanted it to be an open invitation for people to kind of like what I do. But at the same time, it had to be difficult. It had to be innovative, and it had to be something that was totally 100% me, because Springsteen has nothing to do with Neil Diamond. Okay, Neil Diamond has nothing to do with Robert Plant. These are all the guys that I like the most. And when you look at the way these guys built their careers, it was one performance at a time. Build a reputation. Build something that allows people to go, I heard about that. I want to go. How did Sonia Henney do it? She created this light that people were attracted to, and she became the biggest star in skating history. Well, I want to learn from that. I don't want to learn from the status quo of whatever that is. No, I want to learn from what's next. When I lost my mother to cancer, I became a fundraiser. That's logical. Yeah, right? Sure. That's logical. The first place you can go is, I'm going to use my skating, I'm going to use whatever I can, my friends, I'm going to bring them all together, and we're going to raise money for cancer. So we did that. My first show I did as a non-amateur, I had this kind of Puritan kind of thing. It's like, okay, I'm not going to lose my amateur status by collecting money or signing a contract, because I think that's that's the wrong way to go. It's like, we're not going to do this until we get married, right? I wanted to make sure that everything was pure of mission and thought. So basically what I did was I did my last amateur show, and then I did a fundraising show for cancer in Denver. It was my first, I lived there, trained there. We did a big event there to raise money for cancer research. And I did it without being sanctioned. So I lost my amateur status, because you have to be sanctioned to do these shows, right? So I did it without a sanction, so now I'm no longer an amateur, but I didn't do it for money. I did it to raise money for cancer research, and then I signed my Ice Cup Heights contract the next morning. And I realized that the only person missing in my world, I had 3 angels, okay? I had my oncologist, angel number 1, my oncology nurse, my angel number 2, and my friends and family, angel number 3. but there wasn't a fourth angel. So we created one. Fourth angel is someone who's been there, done that, survived, and is on the other side. And we created the Fourth Angel Mentoring Program, where we pair newly diagnosed patients with survivors. So you have someone that's been there, done that, can give you practical life advice, not medical advice, life advice, and also serves as a role model. Right when you feel like quitting, you pick up the phone, you're talking to somebody that's been exactly where you are, and they're on the other side now. And it gives you hope and the information that no one else can give you. So all that and fund research. With the Cleveland Clinic, we created 54 unique research programs. Some of them have presented at ASH, which is the... so it's done really well. But at 16 years, I realized that I just felt compelled. It's like, they go, what do you want to do next? What's the next big idea? And I go, grow. Yeah. And when you're a part of an institution, it's like, well, we can't. And it's like, huh. So I went to talk to Toby Cosgrove, and I said, can I take the brand into the community and try to grow an independent foundation? He said, go for it. I was like, great. So now we're a 17-year-old startup, and we're doing the shows that we've done in Cleveland all these years that have entertained, hundreds of thousands of people. And, I mean, you can't describe that. When people see it, they're like, whoa.
We all know healthcare has changed drastically. It's quite the puzzle to sort through your options and find a health insurance plan that's affordable and maximizes your benefits. And you're now required by law to have health insurance, or you may pay a tax penalty. So let the Health Markets Insurance Agency help you. They offer plans from over 120 different companies and can even help you obtain government subsidies. Let them do all the research for you and show you how affordable health insurance can be, a service that's at no extra cost to you. Call now and learn your options to find affordable health insurance. 800-614-1242. 800-614-1242, 800-614-1242, 800-614-1242. Health Markets Insurance Agency is a DBA or assumed name of Inspire Insurance Solutions, Inc., which is a licensed insurance agency in all 50 states and D.C. Not all agents are licensed to sell all products. Service availability varies by state.
Attention, if you've had hip replacement surgery and suffered any complications, you need to listen to this important legal alert. Major manufacturers have made billions of dollars available to award legal claims for defective hip implants. Thousands of these defective hip implants have been recalled by various manufacturers. If you've had hip surgery and suffered complications, you may be entitled to receive significant compensation to help you deal with your complications. You may be eligible to receive money to help with medical expenses, lost wages, and pain and suffering. Protect yourself by hiring an experienced trial attorney. Our partner law firms are experts in hip replacement surgery lawsuits. Find out now if you're eligible to receive any of the $2.5 billion hip settlement fund. Call now for free information. 800-296-1360. 800-296-1360. 800-296-1360. That's 800-296-1360.
And now today's gardening tip. Over 50% of the country is experiencing drought conditions. Wilt from drought and summer stress can severely damage lawns and ornamental plants and dramatically reduce yields for commercial farms and home vegetable gardens. Not to mention the average cost of water has increased 48% since 2010. Lawn care professionals, golf course superintendents, and sports field managers have found an effective product to maintain great-looking plants with less water that is now also available to homeowners. And now a word from Hydrotain.
Is your lawn fried from heat and drought stress? Flowers wilted? Tired of constantly watering? Not to mention high water bills? Then do what the pros do to reduce watering by up to 50% or more. Use Hydrotain and you'll water less while maintaining beautiful lawns, landscapes, and gardens. Hydrotain is an environmentally responsible solution that has been used for years by top golf courses and landscape professionals. Now available to you. Ask your lawn service or local garden center for Hydrotain. To learn more or to order directly, visit our website at youwaterless.com.
Sports Professor Rick Horrow, Beyond the Scoreboard, serious show, not taking itself too seriously, but a great week of sports. College football bowl games starting, NFL winding down the regular season, basketball, hockey, golf, tennis taking some time off, but not from the boardroom. We've got some of that covered as well. But now it's time for Bust, Boom, and Hope. The good, the bad, and the hopeful in the economy. Let's start with Bust, the bad. MLB, diverse player pool, but complete lack of diversity on the management level, ramping up its push to fix that problem. Commissioner Rob Manfred and his staff attempting to push through an ambitious culture shift at every level of a sport still run largely by older white guys. Bringing up the issue at the league winter meetings, the league now launching new initiatives as part of its social responsibility outreach, aimed at every team under MLB's reach, from the minor leagues all the way up to the Cubs. On big things like diversity and social responsibility, you got to keep beating people over the head at meetings, he says. Baseball people are so busy and they're so focused on other stuff, you have to keep reinforcing whatever you do. How about boom? The NFL playing more games overseas in recent years. The trend will only continue to grow going forward. Mark Waller, NFL International, laid out the framework of a strategic plan in which the league hopes to develop a following that makes the NFL at least a top 5 sport in 5 different regions or countries. Apart from the United States, where football is most popular, the league hopes to push the growth UK, Canada, China, Mexico, and Germany. And that's boom. How about hope? Olympics. Only 3 cities remain in the running for the 2024 games: LA, Paris, and Budapest. New challenges may arise if one is awarded the 2028 games instead of 2024. IOC President Thomas Bach recently came out and said he's contemplating major changes to bidding rules and did not rule out awarding 2 games at once. The IOC members are saying maybe you can live with it. The final candidates are planning and hoping for 2024, but being handed 2028 would bring 4 more years of potential problems of complications to arise, but also 4 more years of planning. When you have cities on the hook, it might be a good idea to close the deal. We'd like to thank Alexander Ravinska, like to thank Patrick Steenberg, and also Scott Hamilton for lending their expertise. Won't you join us when we go Beyond the Scoreboard?